Can understanding your inner self really transform your love life? In this powerful video, we dive into Carl Jung's timeless insights and reveal how his teachings can shift your romantic fate starting today. You'll discover practical ways to apply Jung's wisdom to your relationships, uncover hidden patterns, and build deeper, lasting bonds. Don't forget to subscribe, activate notifications, and like this video to stay inspired. Comment below with "Love begins with knowing myself" and tell us where you're watching from. We'd love to hear from you. Number 1. Understanding the self. Have you ever asked yourself who you really are beyond your roles, your habits, or the expectations others have placed on you? In this video, you're going to explore what it means to truly understand yourself, especially when it comes to love. When your relationships feel confusing or unfulfilling, it's often not just about the other person, it's about what's happening within you. Maybe you've wondered why the same problems show up in every relationship you enter. Perhaps you attract people who treat you poorly, or you find yourself pushing people away without meaning to. These patterns don't come from nowhere. They're signals that something deeper is calling for your attention, and learning to recognize them is the first step in changing your luck in love. You don't need to have all the answers right now. The important thing is being willing to take an honest look at what's happening inside. This doesn't mean criticizing yourself. It means becoming aware of what you feel, what you need, and what might be hiding underneath the surface. Self-awareness isn't about perfection. It's about connection, starting with you. Let's take a simple example. Imagine you're in a relationship where your partner often cancels plans last minute. Do you feel rejected? Do you get angry, or do you quietly accept it and feel sad later? These emotional responses hold valuable clues. They're not just reactions, they're reflections of your deeper needs and experiences. Recognizing these feelings helps you understand what truly matters to you in love. You might be surprised at how much your past influences your present. The way you saw love as a child, the way affection was shown or not shown, can silently shape what you expect in relationships now. Without realizing it, you may be repeating old stories, hoping for a different ending. Becoming aware of this is empowering, not limiting. This awareness brings freedom. When you start to notice your inner patterns, you gain the power to choose differently. You're no longer stuck reacting out of habit. Instead, you respond with clarity. That simple shift, from reacting to choosing, can change the entire direction of your relationships. Imagine what it would feel like to finally break free from those loops. Reflection can be uncomfortable, but it's also one of the most loving things you can do for yourself. Ask yourself, what do I believe about love? Do I think I deserve it? Do I feel safe giving it? These questions might seem small, but they can open doors to deep transformation. Don't rush to fix the answers. Just let them rise gently into your awareness. It's okay if you've been hurt before. We all carry scars, and many of them influence how we love today. Maybe you've been betrayed. Maybe you've loved someone who didn't love you back. That pain can make you put up walls. But when you start to see your own heart clearly, those walls start to soften. You no longer need to protect yourself from who you are. Have you noticed how hard it can be to sit with your own feelings? We live in a world full of distractions, always telling us to move on or stay busy. But what if you just paused for a moment and listened to yourself, to what your heart really wants? That simple act of listening can be the beginning of deep, lasting change. Self-understanding doesn't happen all at once. It unfolds in layers. Today you might notice how you react to criticism. Tomorrow you might realize why you fear being abandoned. These moments might seem small, but they're sacred. Each one brings you closer to the real you, the one who knows how to love and be loved. You don't need to do this perfectly. In fact, trying to be perfect can block your growth. The goal is not to become a flawless version of yourself. It's to become a more honest one. And honesty starts with compassion. Can you be gentle with yourself as you explore your patterns? Can you hold your heart with kindness instead of judgment? Think about a time when you felt truly connected to someone. What made that moment special? Was it their words, their presence, or how they made you feel seen? That sense of connection doesn't come from external validation. It begins inside you. The more you connect with yourself, the more authentically you can connect with others. There's no shortcut to deep self-awareness, but there is a reward. When you understand yourself, You stop waiting for others to make you feel whole. You begin to create your own foundation. This makes love a choice, not a need. You choose to love not because you're empty, but because you're already full. Sometimes we avoid self-reflection because we're afraid of what we'll find. But what if what you discover is your own strength? What if your pain holds the key to your healing? When you face what's inside with courage and care, you begin to reclaim parts of yourself you may have forgotten. And with that, love becomes less about finding the right person and more about becoming one. You may wonder how to start this process. Begin with stillness. Carve out a few minutes each day to ask yourself, how am I really feeling? What do I need today? What am I avoiding? These small questions can lead to big changes, not just in your love life, but in your sense of peace and self-worth. Relationships mirror our inner world. If you constantly feel rejected or misunderstood, it's worth exploring where those feelings began. Are they familiar? Do they remind you of past experiences? This isn't about blame, it's about clarity. Once you see the connection, you can choose to respond differently. That's where transformation begins. You might notice certain fears that keep popping up, like fear of being alone or fear of being too much. These fears aren't flaws. They're messengers. They reveal what you value and what you long for. When you acknowledge them without judgment, they start to lose their grip. You can meet them with love, not resistance. Sometimes we believe we need to be fixed before we can be loved. But what if love is not about fixing, but about accepting? Real love begins when you stop hiding who you are, when you let someone see you fully, and when you allow yourself to be seen. That kind of love requires courage, and it starts with self-acceptance. Have you ever felt like you had to earn love? That you had to perform or be perfect to deserve it? These beliefs often run deep. But you were never meant to chase love, you were meant to share it. The moment you realize your worth is not tied to what you do, but who you are, everything changes. Imagine waking up each day feeling whole, not because someone else completes you, but because you've made peace with yourself. That kind of wholeness changes how you relate to everyone around you. You're no longer looking to be saved. You're ready to share your light. And love becomes a reflection of that inner fullness. The relationship you have with yourself sets the tone for every other relationship in your life. If you're kind, patient, and forgiving with yourself, you're more likely to extend that to others. But if you're harsh or critical inside, that same energy often shows up in your connections. Changing your luck in love starts here, with how you treat you. Every relationship is an invitation to go deeper within. Not to fix yourself, but to understand yourself. The more you lean into that invitation, the more empowered and free you become. And as we move forward, we'll explore how these insights shape the way you experience love, not just inside, but with those around you. Number 2, the dynamics of love. Have you ever found yourself falling into the same kind of relationship over and over, even when you hoped for something different? In this part of the video, we're going to explore the deeper forces that shape your love life, often without you realizing it. Understanding these hidden dynamics is a powerful step toward transforming the way you experience love. Love isn't just about emotions or attraction. It's also about patterns, some conscious, some unconscious. Think about a time you felt deeply drawn to someone, even though you knew they weren't good for you. Why did that connection feel so strong? These moments aren't just coincidences. They reveal the emotional scripts we've absorbed throughout our lives. Every relationship brings something familiar with it. You might notice that certain situations trigger strong reactions, like feeling abandoned when a message goes unanswered, or feeling anxious when someone gets too close. These feelings often have less to do with the present moment and more to do with what love has meant to you in the past. Consider how your early experiences taught you about love. Maybe love felt conditional, something you had to earn through being good, quiet, or useful. Or maybe love was chaotic and unpredictable, leaving you unsure of what to expect. These early lessons become templates, shaping what you seek and accept in your adult relationships. Sometimes you're drawn to people who reflect parts of yourself you're not fully aware of. Maybe they act out emotions you suppress, or they echo fears you carry deep down. These attractions can be intense, even magnetic. But if you don't understand what's happening beneath the surface, they can lead to cycles of pain and confusion. It's easy to blame the other person when a relationship goes wrong, and sometimes, yes, people behave in harmful ways. But there's also great power in asking, what part of me chose this? Not to blame yourself, but to reclaim your ability to choose differently next time. That question opens the door to true change. Imagine two people dancing. Each one moves in response to the other. Relationships work in a similar way. You and your partner create a rhythm, sometimes graceful, sometimes clumsy. If you keep stepping on each other's toes, it doesn't mean you're broken. It means your patterns are clashing. Recognizing this can help you change the dance. Many people stay in painful relationships because the pain feels familiar. It's what they've always known. Breaking free from this cycle means stepping into the unknown, and the unknown can feel scary, even when it holds the love you truly want. That's why awareness is so important. It gives you the courage to choose new possibilities. Let's talk about communication. So often, couples argue not about what happened, but about what it meant. A late reply becomes a sign of disrespect. A forgotten detail becomes proof of not being cared for. These interpretations come from your emotional history. When you understand your own responses, you can start to communicate more clearly and kindly. Do you ever find yourself reacting strongly to something small? That reaction might not be about the moment itself. It might be about the meaning you've attached to it, based on past wounds. For example, if being ignored as a child made you feel invisible, even minor neglect now can feel unbearable. Awareness can help you respond instead of react. Relationships often reflect back what you need to heal. If you struggle with trust, you may find yourself with partners who seem untrustworthy. If you fear abandonment, you may be drawn to emotionally unavailable people. These patterns aren't random. They're invitations to grow. And growth begins when you see the pattern. Growth doesn't mean fixing yourself. It means becoming aware of what's driving your choices. Ask yourself, what am I looking for in a partner? Do I want someone who sees me, supports me, listens to me? Now ask, do I offer those things to myself? Your answers reveal a lot about what you're really seeking in love. There's a difference between wanting love and being ready for love. Wanting love is natural. It's a deep human desire. But being ready means being willing to show up honestly, to set boundaries, to share your fears, to receive love without needing to control it. That level of readiness transforms not just your relationships, but your whole way of being. Emotional honesty is one of the most powerful tools in love. When you can say, "This hurt me," or "I feel scared," without blaming or hiding, you create space for true connection. It's not about being weak, it's about being real. And realness builds trust, the foundation of every strong relationship. Think about a time you felt emotionally safe with someone. What did they do that made you feel seen and heard? Often, it's not grand gestures, but small acts of presence. A kind word, a patient silence, a gentle check-in. You can offer these gifts to others and to yourself, starting today. Not all relationships are meant to last, but all of them can teach you something, even the painful ones. Instead of asking, "Why did this happen to me?" try asking, "What did this experience show me about myself?" This shift in perspective helps you grow without becoming bitter. One common pattern is chasing unavailable love. It might feel exciting at first, like a challenge, but over time it leaves you feeling empty. Ask yourself, am I attracted to the person or to the idea of winning their love? That distinction can reveal a lot about what you truly need and deserve. Some people find themselves avoiding intimacy altogether. They fear losing their independence, or they fear being hurt again. If that's you, know that your fear makes sense. But also know that love doesn't require you to disappear. Healthy love honors your individuality while allowing closeness to grow. Boundaries are not walls. They are bridges to healthier love. When you clearly express what you need and what you won't accept, you give your partner a chance to truly know you, and you give yourself a chance to be respected and valued. Boundaries don't push love away. They create space for it to thrive. Emotional maturity is learning to hold both your needs and your partner's with care. It's knowing that love isn't always easy, but it's always worth the effort when both people are willing to grow. And that growth starts with understanding the dynamics at play, so you can create something deeper, steadier, and more fulfilling. Now that you've explored the powerful patterns and emotional forces that shape your experience of love, you're ready to move into something even more transformative. In the next part of this video, we'll dive into how to build connections that are not just intense but real. Connections that nourish you and last. Number 3. Building authentic connections. Have you ever felt like you were giving your all in a relationship, but still felt unseen or misunderstood? In this part of the video, we're going to explore what it really takes to build a connection that feels honest, safe, and deeply fulfilling. Because love isn't just about being together, it's about being truly known. Authentic connection begins with presence. When you are fully present with another person, not distracted, not hiding, not trying to be someone you're not, you open the door to something rare and beautiful. Presence means listening without planning your reply. It means noticing how the other person feels, not just what they say. One of the most powerful ways to build this kind of connection is through vulnerability. Vulnerability doesn't mean oversharing or being dramatic. It means allowing someone to see the real you. It means saying, "I'm afraid," or "this matters to me," even when it feels uncomfortable. Real intimacy grows where there is courage to be seen. Maybe you've tried to be open in the past and were met with silence or rejection. That hurts deeply. But it doesn't mean you were wrong to try. It means that person wasn't ready to meet you at that level. When someone is able to hold your vulnerability with care, it creates a space where trust can flourish. Trust isn't built all at once. It grows in small moments, when someone keeps their word, when they're there for you, when they make you feel safe. And it grows even more when you show up for yourself. The more you trust your own voice, your own needs, your own boundaries, the more clearly you'll see who truly respects you. Boundaries are key to authentic love. They don't separate people. They define what's healthy and respectful. Imagine being able to say, "I need time to think," or "that doesn't feel okay to me," without fear. That kind of clarity creates emotional safety, not just for you, but for the relationship as a whole. Another vital part of building connection is shared values. Passion may bring people together, but values keep them together. What matters most to you in life? Honesty, growth, family? When your relationship supports these values, it becomes a source of strength. And when values clash, even love can feel exhausting. Think about the people you feel most connected to. It's likely they listen to you without judgment. They make space for your emotions. They want to understand, not just respond. This kind of communication builds closeness. It's not about agreeing all the time. It's about respecting each other's truth. Emotional safety allows for disagreements without destruction. In a healthy relationship, you can express anger or sadness without fearing abandonment. You can be flawed without being rejected. That doesn't mean there are no boundaries. It means the relationship is strong enough to hold both joy and difficulty. Connection also means celebration. Do you have someone who celebrates your wins, even the small ones? That kind of support strengthens bonds. It says, "I see you," not just when you're struggling, but when you're shining. You can start this practice by being your own cheerleader, by noticing and honoring your own growth. Honest connection also means taking responsibility. When you hurt someone, even unintentionally, can you say, "I was wrong"? When someone hurts you, can you say, "That didn't feel good"? These conversations are hard, but they build respect. They say, "I care enough about us to face this with you." Sometimes connection requires repair. No relationship is perfect. Misunderstandings happen. What matters is how you come back together. Can you say, "I didn't mean to hurt you"? Can we talk about it? Can you hear those words and respond with care? These moments are where intimacy deepens. Forgiveness plays a role here, not the kind that ignores harm, but the kind that says, "I choose to move forward." Forgiveness is not forgetting. It's releasing the grip of resentment. It allows room for healing, for learning, for loving again with more understanding and strength. Have you ever asked your partner, "What makes you feel loved?" The answers might surprise you. Some people feel love through words, others through touch, time, or acts of service. Knowing each other's love language isn't a trick. It's a way of honoring who the other person is and showing up in a way that matters. Mutual curiosity keeps love alive. When you remain interested in your partner's world, their thoughts, their growth, their day, you remind them they matter. That kind of attention is powerful. It says, "I choose you today." And love in its deepest form is made up of daily choices. Authentic connection also involves space. It's okay to have separate interests, to need alone time. Healthy love supports individuality. It doesn't demand constant closeness. It respects the rhythms of two whole people choosing to walk beside each other. Space doesn't weaken love, it strengthens trust. Gratitude can transform a relationship. When you regularly say, "Thank you for doing that," or "I appreciate who you are," you invite more of what you value. Gratitude shifts focus from what's missing to what's present. And where there is appreciation, connection deepens naturally. In your quietest moments, ask yourself, do I feel seen in this relationship? Do I feel respected? Do I feel safe? If the answer is no, that's not a sign to give up, but a sign to get curious. What's missing? What's needed? Real love invites these questions and grows stronger through the answers. Support is another layer of connection. When life is hard, who shows up for you? And who do you show up for? Support isn't always about solving problems. Sometimes it's simply sitting beside someone and saying, I'm here. In that space, love becomes a steady presence, not just a feeling. Think of love as a living thing. It needs care, attention, and intention. It thrives when both people are invested, not out of obligation, but out of choice. And you don't need to do it all at once. One kind word, one honest conversation, one shared laugh, they all add up. Connection is built moment by moment. If you've struggled to feel truly connected in love, it doesn't mean something is wrong with you. It means your heart is calling for more honesty, more depth, more truth, and you have the ability to create that. You are worthy of love that sees you, hears you, and holds you with care. As this video draws to a close, remember that love begins with understanding of yourself, of others, and of the patterns that bring you together. When you bring awareness, care, and presence into your relationships, you don't just change your luck in love, you create a connection that lasts. Your path to real love begins within. As you've seen throughout this video, changing your luck in love isn't about finding the perfect person. It's about discovering the truth of who you are and creating space for honest, meaningful connection. The more you understand yourself, the more clearly you'll recognize the kind of love that truly nourishes you. If you're ready to stop repeating the past and start building relationships that feel safe, supportive, and real, the change begins with you. Now, we want to hear from you. If you made it all the way to the end, leave a comment below saying, I'm ready for authentic love, so we know you're with us. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss an update on how to grow in love and life.